Hi, this is Justin Pechie for ivyleague.com. I'm going to be reviewing a big 162 hand history for a tournament I played on PokerStars. This tournament took place on Scoop Main Event Sunday, so the field was pretty big and the field is going to be a lot softer than normal. I actually do go deep in this tournament, so hopefully we're going to have some good spots to look at and dissect. As you can see, this is the first hand. I late registered, so I have 3,000 at 25.50, and other people have a little more, a little less than that. I'm just going to start it here. So fold toss, in the hijack, I have ace queen of spades. I'm always going to be 3xing here with as deep as the stacks are. Both the blinds call, and Andy McLeod is a really good player. He's been around for a long time, so I'm going to be playing accordingly versus him. We flop top here with the backdoor flush draw. We're going to be good here a high percentage of the time. Checks to us, and I bet 200 into 450. I think that's more than enough. We're going to either be way ahead of worse aces, we're going to be behind sets, and we're going to be slightly ahead of flush draws, so there's no real reason to bet bigger to try to get folds, because there's no reason to assume that they have flush draws a high percentage of the time. Andy McLeod calls, so I'm going to put his range here at either, any ace that he defended with, 4-5 for a double gutter, or diamonds. Okay, the deuce rolls off. It gives us a flush draw now. 4-5 completes. I don't really think he's going to have 4-5 very often. I think he's going to fold it almost always if it's offsuit, and I think he's probably going to raise 4-5 suited if it's diamonds in the flop. So not a really big part of his range. No reason to stop betting, especially considering we have a flush draw now. I bet a little more half than pot. I think he can convince himself to call here with something like ace 10 or ace 6. I actually don't think he's going to fold ace 10 very often, but worse aces, I think he's going to fold a certain percentage of the time. He does fold, which means he probably either had something like ace 6 suited or something like, 8-7 of hearts. Next time we play, we're on the button with king jack. This is the next level. Pedro opens for the minimum. I usually expect people to have a weaker range when they open the minimum at the early levels, simply because of how deep we are. And, if Pedro has aces here, making it 120 is going to give people behind him much more implied odds. They're going to be in position. So even if he has aces here, he really shouldn't be wanting to get, at least 2 calls behind him. So I think when people open 120 here, they're mostly just trying to save on the times that they get 3-bet, and they're really not doing much to protect their hand, although some players are going to open here minimum with their entire range, so we can't completely discount it. That being said, I do think it's weaker, so on the button with king jack, I'm going to be 3-betting. This isn't a hand I really want to just call with, especially on the button. I want to take initiative. It's not really, it's a good hand to 3-bet, but in general, it's not a great hand. It's not a hand that I'm worried about 3-bet folding, because against his 4-betting range, I'm going to be doing pretty poor. So, flatting and then seeing a king high flop and getting a decent amount of money in isn't going to be good for me either way. He ends up calling. The flop is ace 10-4 with 2 clubs. We have a gut shot to Broadway as well as a backdoor nut flush draw. Don't really see much reason in betting too much here. He's going to be folding a high percentage of the time. He's basically going to be folding anything that isn't a flush draw or an ace or a 10. He could even realistically fold a 10 here for 340, although I don't think he does too often. It's definitely possible depending on, if he has backdoor flush draw or something like, I think he's going to call something like king 10 here more often than he is 10-9, just due to the fact that he has backdoor Broadway draw. He does fold, and also I want to say that betting 340 there also saves me chips from the times that he does decide to continue, which actually do add up to a decent amount.